Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnananjana-Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharye Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Mukund, would you like to sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Vrunda, sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Thank you, Vrinda.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Thank you, Vrinda. Okay, now I have Krishna Naina. Would you like to sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Krishna Naina is there. Suraj is there. Suraj, please come on the video and sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna Naina on her video. Come on, go ahead, Krishna Naina. Sing Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Wow, what a beautiful day.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Krishna Naina. Suraj, you can sing one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As I saw, you brought your Mridanga and you're ready to sing. I don't want to disappoint you. You can go ahead and sing one time.
Hare Krishna. That key can you get that?
Okay.
Hare Krishna. I will sing. You play.
Okay, fine.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama.
Thank you, Suraj. That was very nice. Now we will start the class because already Mataji is in. Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. Please take over, Mataji.
Thank you, Vinta Gandharvika Mataji. Thank you, dear Suraj and his mom for beautiful singing, and Suraj for his beautiful playing mridanga. Thank you, Krishna Naina. That was excellent. That tune was awesome. Thank you so much. I see that we have very talented musicians here on the call, and my humble obeisances to all of you young devotees. Hare Krishna. Okay, I just do my prayers quickly since I just didn't listen to your prayers. Let me just offer my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyayata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol. Okay, let me open my PowerPoint and we are going to have too much of excitement today, right? I haven't picked up a story exactly for our moral stories per se. I have to do that. But before that, let's just complete our presentation for today. Okay. All right. Let me just do my share screen and then we can get started. Are you able to see me, kids?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. All right. So here, the birth of Parikshit Maharaj, right? That is the theme we are all seeing. And so far, what has happened is that Maharaj Parikshit is in the womb of Uttara, and he was saved by the Lord from an invincible Brahmastra that was released by who? Ashwatthama. Okay. So now, Sutta Goswami is describing Maharaj Yudhishthira's exemplary rule. How did he rule? Right? Qualities of Yudhishthira were mentioned in verse number 4, which talked about he administering generously. He was like a father. He pleased the citizens. He was free of personal desires of sense gratification due to his continuous service to Lord Krishna. So whenever we do service to Lord Krishna, we actually forget, we actually do it for the pleasure of Krishna. We are not trying to gratify our senses, but we are trying to gratify whose senses? We are trying to gratify Krishna's senses. And he's also explaining about the opulences. News of the world, fame, sacrifices in the destinations, queens, brothers, land, and lordship over Jambu Dvipa reached the higher planets. That is how much opulence was there during Yudhishthira's exemplary rule. They were, Mother Earth was so satisfied by the way in which Yudhishthira actually happened to rule the kingdom. So a lot of abundance was wealth. Abundance of wealth was given. And detachment, meaning his opulences were so great that the heavenly denizens desired them, but he was unattracted to them, being absorbed in Lord's service. He was completely detached. You can look at it from Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Lord Krishna, how did he protect Parikshit in the womb? When Parikshit was suffering from the heat of Brahmastra in the womb of his mother, he could see the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord's features were described when he was in the womb, right? And his form, he was able to see the four-handed form of the Lord. He was able to see the molten golden eyes, blood red with fury. He wanted his club constantly encircling him like a shooting star. And then what happened? Parikshit wondered who he was. Who is this person who's trying to protect me from the heat of Brahmastra? Like that, Parikshit Maharaj wondered. And then he saw the four-handed form of the Lord who was actually protecting him. And then while being absorbed by the child, the Lord who was all-pervading super soul, the protector of the righteous, who spreads in all directions, he disappeared all at once. Suddenly he vanquished when Parikshit Maharaj was closely examining who is this guy who's trying to help me out. He suddenly vanquished from there. And then ceremonies during Maharaj's Parikshit's birth. There were all favorable signs of the zodiac gradually manifesting when he actually took birth. Okay, all the right things were coming into place. And then charity was given. Yudhishthira gave a lot of charity to the Brahmanas, who aptly informed that this child was certainly in the line of the Purus, meaning he was going to follow the same attributes and the traits of all the members of the Puru dynasty. The child will be known as Vishnu Ratha. And Yudhishthira inquired, will he become a king as saintly and famous as others who appeared in this royal dynasty? See, there is this Parikshit Maharaj, right? He is born as a prince now. This person, will he become a same kind of person like people in our royal lineage? Like the Pandavas, we have so many good examples here. Arjuna is a great bowman. He has so many nice qualities. Will he become like one of them? Like that, Yudhishthira was so curious to know about the Parikshit Maharaj, what kind of a person he is. Okay, and now we are going to see about the answers in response to Yudhishthira's question. Are you all clear? So I'm going to be asking questions, right? Are you all going to be listening to the class so I can ask questions to all of you who are?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, so the point here that I'm trying to drive home is that what is Yudhishthira's question? Yudhishthira's question is, what about this Parikshit Maharaj? Is he going to have the qualities of the royal lineage? Is he going to have any kind of qualities like those people, you know, of the Puru dynasty? If so, what are his qualities? I'm very, very anxious to know. Like that, he was inquiring. Okay. And now Parikshit Maharaj's qualities are predicted by the Brahmanas. What are his qualities? Let's understand. So you probably must have learned from Padmasakhi Mataji about quality number 19. He has a quality in maintaining all those who are born, in following the Brahmanical principles, especially in being true to his promise. So he is going to be true to his promise. Whatever promise he makes, he is going to be true to that. That is following the Rama. Rama is who had followed the principles of keeping up his promise. And then you also must have seen the story of Sibi in Padmasakhi Mataji's class, right? Munificent donor of charity and the protector of the surrendered. He spread the name and fame of his family. He's just like Bharata or Dushyanta. So these are qualities that you have already seen in Mataji's class. And now in my PowerPoint, you can see about Arjuna, how Parikshit Maharaj is going to exhibit the quality of Arjuna. What about Arjuna? He married 4 wives. What are the 4 wives' names? Draupadi, Shubhadra, Chitragna, Ulupi. Okay, these are the names of the 4 wives of who?
Mataji, the third wife is it Chitrangada?
Chitrangada, yes.
These are the 4 wives of Arjuna.
What are the 4 wives again?
It's Draupadi, Shubhadra. You can see from the PowerPoint. Are you able to see, dear Suraj?
Yes,
It's highlighted. Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
you don't have to. Yeah, no problem. Don't have to remember these names. I'm not going to ask any questions from the names. But then,
you know, why did he marry like 4 wives?
so in those times,
I thought he only married 1 wife, that's Draupadi.
No, yeah, in
Yeah,
that time.
then he married Subhadra. Yeah, those 2 only.
Yeah, that's
So
what
the point is that he has 4 wives. The kings used to have many wives because they want to have many provinces under their control. Okay, for that reason, they will marry a lot of wives. So that's not the point here. Okay, so we will move on to what are the qualities that Parikshit Maharaj was exhibiting through. What are we seeing here? We are seeing how Parikshit Maharaj is exhibiting the qualities of Arjuna. Okay, what kind of quality is he exhibiting? So Arjuna, he is a great bowman, and Parikshit, he'll also be a great bowman. That is what the Brahmanas are predicting. During his student life, he was entrusted to study under the great professor named Dronacharya. along with the other Pandavas and Kurus. But he excelled everyone by his studious intensity, and Dronacharya was specifically attracted by his disciplinary affection. Dronacharya accepted him as the first great scholar and loved heartily to bestow him all the blessings of military science. Say, for example, the teacher will be happy when a student sincerely listens to his class. And what will happen? The teacher will bless the student with lot of blessings. Okay, let Preeti get everything. Preeti, I mean, I don't know, maybe I am not knowing this. What is your name? I don't know. Okay, Suraj. Suraj is listening very attentively to the class. So the teacher is going to award him lot of things, lot of blessings. Mukund is there. Ramachandra is there. Krishna Naina is there. So let me just bestow my blessings upon you since you guys are sincerely listening to the class. And that is what happened here. Arjuna, everybody participated in the war, but Arjuna excelled. Everybody participated in the art of military science, learning from Dronacharya. We have all the Pandavas, Kauravas learning from Dronacharya. But who excelled? Who excelled?
Arjuna.
Arjuna excelled. And because Arjuna excelled, the teacher was so attracted to him. The teacher said, oh, such a good job, Arjuna. You're doing a great job. So I'm going to bestow you all the blessings that you may have in this world. Let you get all the blessings. So when we have more blessings, what happens? Ultimately, we will perform more better, right? When we have the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. If Suraj is saying, oh, Radhika Mataji is teaching good, or if Mukund is saying Radhika Mataji is doing good, the teacher is getting the goodwill, like getting it from the students, right? Isn't it? Are you able to understand? It is it is a two-way relationship. It is not one way. Are you able to get it? So the teacher will bestow the blessings upon the student, and the students also can bestow their blessings up to the teacher. Meaning that way, teacher will be able to impart this knowledge of whatever she is able to impart to more people. Okay. So that she can, because blessings from Vaishnavas make a big difference, right? It is Vaishnava Seva that actually saves us from this samsara. So it is very important to keep this Vaishnava Seva going. And Dronacharya, he accepted Arjuna as the first great scholar, and he gave blessings to him like anything. And he was so ardent student that he used to practice bowmanship even at night. And for all these reasons, Professor Dronacharya was determined to make him the topmost bowman of the world. So now what happened? Dronacharya looking at his skills. Oh, this guy is extraordinary. So I'm going to make him the topmost in archery, topmost bowman. This is what I'm going to make him. He passed very brilliantly the examination in piercing the target, and Dronacharya was very, very pleased. See, the teacher will be pleased when the student performs well, and Arjuna was trying to please his master by exhibiting his extraordinary skills. Arjuna saved Dronacharya from the attack of a crocodile, and the Acharya, being pleased with him, rewarded him with a weapon named Brahmashiras. And Maharaj Drupada, we all know the enmity. I already spoke to you in Bhagavad Gita, right? About Dronacharya and Drupada, how they were inimical towards each other. And you know, there was a point when what happened was, you all know the story. I don't want to repeat it because of the time constraint. Moving on, what happened was, thus when he attacked the Acharya, Arjuna got him arrested and brought him before Dronacharya. So when you know, Drupada tried to harm Dronacharya, Arjuna actually arrested him and brought him before Dronacharya. Maharaj Drupada, although defeated by Arjuna, on behalf of his professor Dronacharya, decided to hand over his daughter Draupadi. Draupadi was the daughter of Drupada. Okay, she was handed over to Arjuna. And then obviously Drupada got a little bit scared, because Drupada thought that Arjuna was killed in that false news of Arjuna's death, because there was a fire in the Shalak house. Intrigued by Duryodhana, there was that Duryodhana made that conspiracy, and because of that conspiracy, lot of people believed the death of the Pandavas, right? And Drupada was one of them who also believed that Pandavas died in that fire mishap. And he therefore arranged, okay, he said, okay, let me arrange Draupadi's personal selection of the groom. And there is a fish hanging in the ceiling. And whoever is able to pierce the eye of the fish, which is there on the ceiling, which is rotating on the ceiling, that person will be the one who can marry my daughter Draupadi. And Arjuna was able
Can I
to,
tell the story?
Arjuna was able to do that. Okay. So Krishna Naina, you want to say something?
I want to say the story.
You want to say the story?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, but take a little short time, okay?
Okay, I have the book, like this fat book, but can't get it. Should I get
No
the book?
worries. You tell in your own book. No,
Okay.
you tell in your own words.
Okay, so like after like Duryodhana put like that like house, which was like gonna like turn into fire, I think in night, when they were sleeping. So I heard that they actually dug a hole, like, and they went through, and then after that, like, so Drupada arranged for like when he like heard of that, he was like a bit surprised. He was like surprised. So he arranged for Draupadi's marriage, like just like he hung up the fish on the ceiling, which is rotating, and whoever like shoots the eye of it, like gets to marry Draupadi, and and Arjuna was the person, because like since like Duryodhana did like the all of like he gave the house and then he made it burn down, because of that, the Pandavas came in disguise of a sage, but
Can I add one thing?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, from the story, I don't know if this is right, but the story I heard that the fish, it was rotating and you have to shoot the eye, but you have to look at the water. There was like water under.
yeah, you have to look at the water.
Yeah, and then you have to
Yes,
shoot it
the
like
reflection. Correct.
And but I thought like
So anyways, coming to the point, we have so many other slides to cover, dear. Thank you, Krishna Naina, for explaining it so very nicely. So the point here is, what are some things that we can learn from the past time? The focus, determination. Focus means what? Focus means ability to concentrate, ability to listen, ability to be focused on that particular activity of shooting the shooting the target. For Arjuna, it was shooting the target. For us, what is the target? To listen to the class, to listen to what Mataji is saying, right? And for me, what is the target? For you to give you good subject. Each one has a target, right? See, if I'm not able to be focused and I'm blabbering something which is totally unrelated, then I'm not focused either. The teacher has to be focused. At the same time, the students also need to be focused. And that is what Arjuna is teaching through this lesson. We need to focus and we need to give it a best possible attention to whatever we are doing. We may be doing any particular activity. The thing is, we have to space it out. We can't just, we are not robots. We can't be sitting in front of a computer, listening to Krishna Katha or anything for that matter continuously. It is not humanly possible. So what we need to do, we need to tell our parents, so mommy, I need a break. If you need a break, tell your parents that you need a break. Of course, we are all kids, and whatever time is given, your parents know to how to best allocate you. But whatever time we are there in the class, we need to focus. Okay. So that's the point or drive home message for all of us. Just to remain focused and be determined. Should not give up. Okay. That is also another thing. And then let's understand what are the other qualities the Brahmanas are telling about Parikshit Maharaj. So the next quality that we are going to talk about is, he is going to be as strong like a lion. He is going to be like a Himalayan mountain, worthy of shelter. He is going to be forbearing as the earth, and he is going to be tolerant like tyrants. So let's see these 4 examples. What are the 4 things that I'm talking about now? Strong as lion. I'm going to tell you again, strong as lion, worthy of shelter like Himalayan mountains, forbearing as what? Forbearing as earth, and tolerant as parents. Who are tolerant? Who is very tolerant to us? Parents, right? So we will understand why parents are more tolerant in this particular Srimad Bhagavatam verse. So now, strong as a lion. One is compared to a lion when one is very strong in chasing an enemy. One should be a lamb at home and lion in chase. The lion never fails in chase of an animal. Similarly, the head of the state should never fail in chasing an enemy. So this is the learning we have. So whatever duty the head of the state is supposed to perform, he should never fail. And one of the things is that he should not fail in chasing the enemy out, right? That is the duty of a king. The Himalayan mountains are famous for all the richness. There are innumerable caves to live in, numberless trees of good fruits to eat, good springs to drink water from, and profuse drugs and minerals to cure diseases. So this is what Himalayan mountains has to offer. So much richness and so much opulence the Himalayan mountains have for us. And then what about earth? Any man who is not materially prosperous can take shelter of these great mountains and he'll be provided with everything required. Somebody goes somewhere and he doesn't have anything, no, he can take shelter of Himalayas. Himalayas has water, Himalayas has fruits, Himalayas has vegetables, whatever you want, you can take from those mountains. Both the materialist and the spiritualist can take advantage of the great shelter of Himalayas. Parents are always tolerant to children, right? Whatever mischievous activities you guys do, parents are tolerant. An ideal king may be possessed of all these good qualities, and child Parikshit is foretold to have these qualities in perfection. So what will be his scenario with Parikshit Maharaj? He's going to be tolerant like parents. He's going to be opulent like Himalayan mountains. He's going to be forbearing like earth, which is providing a lot of things for us and giving shelter to us, right? And then he's also going to be, how about the lion? The lion is strong. He's going to be strong as a lion. Okay. So these are the 4 examples that we saw, which Parikshit Maharaj is going to possess. Any question, kids?
No, Mataji.
Are you good? Suraj, do you want to say what those 4 qualities are?
Yes, Mataji. Lion, Himalayas and earth. Lion is very brave. Himalayas, everybody can take shelter from. Earth is like, I forgot, but parents tolerate everything.
Yeah, parents can tolerate everything. Wonderful job, Hari Bol. Okay, so that is the question for the second translation. Now, moving on. Third translation. Equanimity of mind. What is this equanimity of mind? Meaning, they are able to maintain a state of calmness. These people are so elevated that they can be very calm. No matter what happens to them, they can be very calmly situated. When something really aggravates us, we become very, we become intolerant to that situation, right? Oh, what are you saying? I'm not allowing this to happen. Oh, my brother actually stole the watch from me. This happened, that happened. We become so aggravated, right? For small things, we get aggravated. But we see here that there are some people in the very elevated state, they are able to manage and maintain this mental equilibrium or equanimity. So Yudhishthira is one such example. He is an example for equanimity of mind. And so they are equanimity. They are able to have this mental equilibrium. Why? To engage in the welfare of all living beings. That is why they are in this mental. That is why they are in this. They are in this state for what? There should be an ultimate higher goal for this, right? The higher goal is that they are trying to be engaged in the welfare of living beings, and for that reason, they are very good. They are in the state of mental equilibrium. Hey Mukund, what is it, that light thing that is happening in your house? what is that light flowing?
No, Didi, we have put those
Fluorescent lights.
yeah, and we put those fairy lights, and we turn them on right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice, nice.
they're like
It's
different
like,
color lights.
yeah. Is it in the whole living room? Oh, wow. That looks really cool. Ah, nice.
Like a bunch of
Is it for Navratri or something? Or
No, Mati, we have it at night always on.
okay.
Yeah,
wow.
it's like really night lights.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I mean, not exactly night lights. We don't keep them on while sleeping, but at night time when like the room is a little more dark.
Got you, got you. So that the deities are always lit up.
The deities have their own fairy lights.
Oh, they do. Okay, good. Thank you, Mukund, for showing this. I was just enamored by that. Anyways, equanimity of mind. What is that? Example is Yudhishthira Maharaj. Anyone responsible for executing agent at the top of administration has to tolerate different types of onslaughts from very persons for whom he works, right? What are onslaughts means? Some misery somebody will be causing, and they have to be the ones who can withstand all of them. They cannot be not tolerant to those. Okay, so many complaints will come to a king, so many things will be going on in the kingdom, so he cannot get agitated. Instead, he has to be dutiful and he has to tolerate them and find the right course of action for engaging the people in the welfare of the work, engaging people in their welfare. So Brahmaji was even criticized by the gopis for what? The gopis said, oh my God, you're the creator of the universe. Brahmaji, you created these islets, and these islets are obstructing our vision to Lord Krishna. They could not tolerate the moment separation from Lord Krishna. And this is what separated them. But whatever criticism comes from whoever it may be, these people are calm and they are able to tolerate the situation. So that is equanimity of mind. And for that, we see the examples of Brahma and who? Brahma and who?
Gopis.
Not gopis, dear. Brahma and Yudhishthira. Gopis were used as examples to show criticism of Brahmaji, right? And Brahmaji tolerated that criticism. So Brahmaji and Yudhishthira are given as examples. Are you able to understand?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthira, he also came across so many difficult situations created by the enemies, but he maintained his equanimity in all critical circumstances. Therefore, these are the peoples who are good examples for this fitting. And similarly, Parikshit Maharaj, he will also have the equanimity of mind. So we saw qualities of great bowmanship. We saw qualities of being strong, forbearing, tolerant, taking shelter like Himalayas. All these qualities will be exhibited by Parikshit Maharaj. Now we are seeing equanimity of mind, which is being exhibited by Yudhishthira Maharaj and Brahmaji. And this trait will also be exhibited by who? Parikshit Maharaj. And these are being predicted by who? The Brahmanas. Are you able to get a clear picture now?
Yeah.
Okay. And now coming back, munificent Shiva. Okay, Lord Shiva is celebrated as a demigod who gives to the beggars. His name is Ashutosha, or one who is pleased very, very easily. He is also called Bhutnath, or Lord of the common folk, who are mainly attached to him because of his munificent gifts, even without consideration of the after effects. So Lord Shiva, he gives the benediction so fast, so nicely, generously he gives all the benedictions without even worrying about the after facts, meaning what is going to happen afterwards. He's not even worried about the consequences. He gives them, yes, you take it. Yes, you take it. Like that, he gives the benedictions. And Ravana, what about Ravana? He was very attached to Lord Shiva, and easily pleasing him, Ravana became what? He became so powerful that he wants to challenge Rama. Of course, Ravana was never helped by Lord Shiva when he fought with Rama, And again, to Vrikasura, Lord Shiva awarded the benediction, which was not only awkward but was disturbing. Vrikasura became empowered by Lord Shiva to vanish anyone's head simply by touching it. So we all remember this pastime, right? Vrikasura's pastime, where he wanted a benediction. So when he is going to touch people's head, they will go, they will vanquish, they will disappear. That was the benediction he wanted. And Lord Shiva, he immediately granted that benediction without even worrying about the after effects of that benediction.
And
So
then
this is how generous who is Lord Shiva is,
Mataji,
right? Yes,
And
yes, Mukul.
and then after that, demon harassed the benediction, Vrikasura, the Vrikasura immediately started to reach for Lord Shiva's head.
Yeah. Can you believe it? And Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna had to come and intervene in that situation. So this is how Lord Shiva is. He cares so much for these devotees and he awards them the benedictions very nicely, very generously. And that is a. And likewise, we see Parikshit Maharaj is going to be munificent also. So these are all the characteristics or traits that who's going to exhibit. Parikshit is going to exhibit, and this is what is predicted by who? The Brahmanas. Are you clear with that understanding of what is happening here?
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I quickly share the end, like how Lord Krishna how Lord Krishna killed a demon? So what happened was that he started chasing Lord Shiva to try to kill Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva prayed to Krishna, and Krishna took a form of a beautiful woman, and he came in front of Vrikrasura. Vrikrasura got very attached. So he was like, "Can I marry you?" Then Krishna in the woman form said, "But first you'll have to learn dancing how I dance." So then he agreed to that. So Krishna started dancing, and after some time, in once Vrikrasura was following. So in one step, he put his hand on his head, Krishna, and then even the demon did that, forgetting about the
benediction that he got. Yeah.
And he immediately died.
Correct. So even funny, because see, when you are lusty, when you are not trying to gratify your senses, you forget completely. You become so engrossed upon that action, and he even forgot that benediction that he had, right? So that was the case with Vrikasura's past. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a very similar pastime.
Yes, there is also another version to the pastime. There was the Brahmana boy. Yeah. Anyways, let's not get into the story. Thank you, Ramachandra, for reminding me that. But anyways, let's get moving on this whatever we have here. So then Rama. Rama is what? Rama means goddess of Rama means goddess of fortune, and her shelter is Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu is the maintainer of all living beings. Therefore, innumerable living beings, not only on the surface of this planet, but thousands of other planets. All of them are provided with the necessities of life for their march towards self-realization. So she is the one who is responsible for economic development. Okay, economic development of people happens, and everybody takes shelter of goddess Lakshmi or Rama Devi, right? And she's a consort of Lord Vishnu, and he is the maintainer of all living beings. Anyways, what happens after that? I mean, we saw Rama Devi, and then now we are going to see about Krishna. So Krishna is, what is his quality? The quality that he has is everybody has to follow in his footsteps. That is the quality that Krishna is exhibiting. The last instruction of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says one should give up everything and should follow in the footsteps of the Lord alone. Sarvadharman, who can say that verse? Sarvadharman.
Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Parvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchah.
Very good, Ramachandra. So that is the verse he's saying. You just come and agree to my instruction and follow me, follow my footsteps. You should give up everything and just follow me. Follow me, the Lord alone. So less intelligent persons don't agree to this instruction. And but actually intelligent people, they follow the sublime instruction and get immensely benefited. Foolish people don't know the association is the cause of acquiring qualities. Association with fire makes an object hot, and therefore association with Supreme Lord makes one qualified like that of the Lord. Very, very important point, right? When you get associated with the Lord, you get the qualities of the Lord. Some in unintelligent people doesn't know about it. So our duty here is to make everyone intelligent. We should just not think they are unintelligent like that. We should make everybody in this world intelligent people, followers of Krishna, to follow the footsteps of Lord Krishna. Ask them to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and everything and get this sublime knowledge. Are you able to understand, kids? And now we are going to Ranti Deva's pastime. The ancient king prior to Mahabharata period referred to by Narada Muni while instructing Sanjaya as mentioned in Mahabharata. He was a great king for hospitality and distribution of foodstuff. Even Lord Krishna praised his aspects of charity and hospitality. This is how great he was. He was blessed by great Vashishta Muni for supplying him cold water, and thus he achieved the heavenly planet. He used to supply fruits, roots, and leaves to the rishis, and thus he was blessed by them with the fulfillment of his desires. Although a Kshatriya by birth, he never ate flesh in his life. He was especially hospitable to Vashishta Muni, and by his blessings, he attained the higher planetary residence. He is one of the pious kings whose names is remembered in morning and evening. Okay, this is the understanding for Ranti Deva, known for his charity and prosperity, and always having that helpful mood. Okay, so with this we will conclude today's session of Srimad Bhagavatam, and now we will move on to the comic story or moral story section. Are you all clear, kids? Any questions anybody has? Suraj, do you have any questions, dear?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No? Okay. Okay. So let me go and look for a comic story now. Comic story. Haridas Thakur's story was so good, right? It was so catchy.
Yeah.
It was good. At the same time, I felt kind of like I've heard it because like on the internet, there's like these YouTube videos where like they show the exact same comic, but in the story form.
Yeah, they just
by ISKCON. Like some ISKCON Desire 3 channel.
Mataji,
yes.
I know Haridas Thakur's story very well because I've been in a Sunday school drama, and in that I had the character of Haridas Thakur.
Wow. You were Haridas Thakur, so you knew it more than anybody could actually relate to. Yeah, absolutely, Mukund, I can understand. Okay, let me. Hey, did you? Yeah, can you see my sharing? No, not yet.
No, you didn't share.
Okay, one minute. Let me see. Don't want to. What happened? Why it's not coming? Okay, let me see. Share screen. Okay.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Good.
For Lord Gopal.
So the offering for Lord Gopal. Okay, this is another instructional story for us. Okay, let's just do it. Whatever time we have, we will do it, and rest we can continue it in next class. Okay, that way we have some suspense. Long ago, Brahman was touring different places. On his way, he reached Navadvip and he wanted to spend a night. Jagannath Mishra invited that Brahmin to his house. Welcome, come inside in my house, he said. Jagannath Mishra washed the Brahmin's feet and welcomed him in the house. He had a beautiful deity of Gopal with him. Can you all see the deity of Gopal that Jagannath Mishra was having?
Yes, Mataji.
And see how nice,
Very beautiful.
how
Mataji.
nice, yeah, how
So,
nicely.
Mataji, what was
Jagannath
the last
Mishra.
picture?
Okay, one second. Come, he's just inviting the Brahmin inside. That's all.
Uh,
Okay? Yeah. I'll
yeah,
try to
because I
shorten.
missed it. Because I
No
don't think
problem.
it was a
No problem, dear. I want to cook some offerings for my deity of Lord Gopal. This Brahmana said. Jagannath Mishra, he gave him all the things that he needed to cook. He gave him rice, dal, vegetables, milk, jaggery, and all of that. And Brahmin, what did he do? He started to cook. And then he prepared the plate with cooked offerings. What did he do? He prepared the plate. He kept the offering plate in front of Gopal and started to chant the mantras to offer food to Lord Gopal. As soon as Brahmin started chanting the mantras, Nimai appeared there. He began to eat all the offerings. See, he was closing his eyes. Can you see Nimai actually taking everything as the offering? While he was doing the offering, and Brahmin, he became so upset. He shouted, hi, this child has spoiled my offering to Lord Gopal. And Jagannath Mishra, he was very upset. He chastised, he chased Nimai with a stick. So upset looking at his son doing this. But we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Lord Krishna himself. So when the offering was made to him, he gladly accepted the offering, and to show his acceptance, he is readily coming and eating it in front of the Brahmana. So please don't punish him. He's just a little boy. I can eat some fruits, and maybe this is what Gopal wants. See, that was Brahman's perspective. Jagannath Mishra requested the Brahmana to cook again. He sent Nimai to the neighbor's house. Now Nimai is going off to the neighbor's house. The ladies, they were engaging Nimai to play with this so play with him, just to engage him, so that the Brahmana could cook and offer it peacefully. Because if the Brahmana, whatever is offered, that is the remnants he wants to take. If somebody eats before that, he doesn't know, right? Nimai is Supreme Lord. He doesn't know about it. So what he's doing is he's not going to eat at all. So that is the thing. And Jagannath Mishra is feeling bad that the Brahmana is not able to eat the prasad or the remnants of the Lord, and the Lord is not being offered properly also, because Nimai comes and interrupts. Brahmin, what does he do? He starts to cook again. As you can see, all the all the vegetables, everything is here, and he's trying to cook again. After cooking, he prepared to offer now. As soon as the Brahmin started to chant, offering the prayers, look who's again. Nimai, he came running from the neighbor's house and he began to eat the offerings again. Of course, he is being offered, right? So he has to come and take his offerings if he's pleased with that devotee. And Brahmana shouted, alas, Nimai has once again spoiled my offerings. Oh my God. Jagannath Mishra begged the Brahmin to cook once again. He assured Brahmin that Nimai is going to be locked in the room and he's going to be put to sleep. Please, you don't go hungry. You should do the cooking once again and offer it to the Lord. And I'll make sure that Nimai is locked in the room and he's put to sleep. It was very late in the night. Everyone was sleeping. Brahmin cooked the offering once again. And Nimai, he was sleeping in the room. As soon as Brahmin started chanting, offering the prayers, Nimai heard that ringing of the bell and he woke up. He's being addressed, right? How can he not wake up? Nimai came running. He stood right before the Brahmin and he started to eat the offerings. Brahmin cried, but no one could hear him as everybody was fast asleep. And then little Nimai appeared as Lord Krishna, a little Gopal with cows, forests, cowherd boys, gopis, and all Vrindavana. And the Brahmin, looking at him, he was completely amazed. Can you believe this? That is what happened. He showed his form to him. He revealed his form to
Who's
him.
Krishna, Ma?
Huh?
Who's Krishna?
Yes, none other than Lord Krishna. Nimai told the Brahmin, why are you crying? You are calling me to accept your offerings, and when I come to eat the offerings, you are getting so upset. What is this? The Brahmin was very happy to see this beautiful form of Lord Krishna before his own eyes that he fainted. Nimai touched him on the forehead and woke him up. The Brahmin was in bliss. He ate the prasad very, very happily. Now, knowing that Lord has eaten his prasad, Lord has eaten his offering, that prasad was consumed by him. The Mahaprasad was consumed by him. Everyone woke up in the morning, saw the Brahmin eating the prasad very happily. How was your offering? When Jagannath Mishra asked, my offering was a success. Like that, he said. And this is what is the conclusion of the pastime. So when the Lord here came, he himself came and ate the offering, and the Brahmin was so touched to see the form of Lord Krishna, who's none other than Chaitanya Nimai Pandit. Nimai Pandit showed him his original form, Lord Krishna of Vrindavan. So this is the understanding, dear kids. So what we can do, we can maybe adjourn for today, and
Mataji, there is another story.
yeah, there will be so many stories, Suraj. I mean, we have-
I doing the same thing, but little different. So
Oh.
also food.
Nimai with the two thieves, there is that pastime, there is Nimai's water
No,
pastime. Oh, yeah, he accepts the offering of Jagadish and Hiranya Pandit.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, wonderful, dear. Yes. So we have many pastimes like this, but see, Madhava, I think may start in some time. I'm not sure who's doing what in Madhava, but I think we have just...
Mataji, Mataji,
Yes, dear.
where do you get all of these stories from? I see there's something at the top.
Yeah, ISKCON Desert, dear. I'm going to send you the link. You can just browse that, okay? One second.
Mama, am I old enough to go to Madhava's?
Okay,
I don't think so.
this
They
is the
have-
one.
They have regular classes, Suraj, and you're not old enough. Till 11 years they have it going us, and 12-year onwards.
Okay.
Mother.
Yeah. So this is what is the link here. And
Govindas for 5 years.
okay. So what we can do is we can adjourn. I see Kavya's brother there, right next to her. Very nice, Kavya. You have a small little brother. What is his name?
Yes,
Yes.
Mataji.
Kavya has to unmute, I think. Asked to unmute. Okay. Are you able to unmute here? I don't know why she.
His name is Vishnu. Yes,
Oh, Vishnu. Vishnu?
yes, Mataji.
Oh, nice. How old is he?
At 3,
He's 3 years. And you are?
8 years.
You're 8 years. Okay, nice. All right. So can we all adjourn, kids? We'll just do our prayers and then we will call it off for today, okay? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the Vaishnavas. Thank you,
Mataji.
Vinita
Thank you,
Bandadika Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you,
Hari Bol.